I painted this piece in 2019 for the ever-chosen painting competition, and while I did win first place at my local shop, this is not a bragging video. This video is actually to cover a very interesting tool I use. I keep a painting diary, or you can call it a painting journal. Personally, I call it my recipe book. You see, when I paint something, I write down the combination of paints I used and in what order I painted it in, so that I may replicate an exact paint job I like. A few years later, and now as a more experienced painter, I can see the strengths and weaknesses in my paint job. I don't paint or collect Death Guard anymore, so I will use a salamander I painted a few years ago as my proof that this method works. Being able to follow an exact color and painting style from an old piece will allow you to keep your newer troops and additions to an army blending right in. Once you get the base colors down, you can start applying new techniques that you've learned over the years to improve the paint job. Just remember to update your recipe book with your new techniques once you start adding them. A perfect example for an old technique that needed updating was how I used to paint bone. The technique was simple and easy. It was just simply painting bone white by Vallejo, then washing it with burnt umber, also by Vallejo. Looking at it now, I can see that I had very little control over the staining of the color and no way to add any aged bone fading effects. The old technique, while being quick and dirty, leaves a muddiness to the paint color, which is very undesirable for painting. Another perk of keeping your recipe book is being able to find the exact colors quickly and efficiently so that you can achieve the same effects you did the first time. Using my notes, I'll be able to take that darker green and start laying it down as the base coat. Having confidence while painting speeds up your process. I recommend in your own notes to write down what kind of priming job you did, whether it be zenithal or just a base color, especially if you're using an airbrush. Airbrushes tend to make colors a little bit more translucent. Now, just like before, with that confidence of having the notes right there, I'm able to grab the next color and just start building up that highlight. And within just a few minutes, I have that base coat down. And I'm able to start to now go into the detail work. The shade of green I use for my salamanders is not traditional. Don't worry about this. These are your minis. You get to paint them up the way you want to. Looking at the notes, I can quickly now see what colors I use for the metallic. Looking at my notes, I didn't have any color for exhaust. Citadel makes a great color for this. It's called Screaming Bell. It's a red, bronzy copper. It's going to help separate the difference between the gold and the silvers used as the metal bits, and it's a great color for exhaust. This is the only time-consuming part of the painting job. Getting that base color on is super quick, super fast, and efficient. Now we're just going to pull out a brush and we're going to go ahead and start hitting all the details I need to with these colors. You may have also noticed I was painting a dragon head alongside with this robot. This is because in my little head canon, which is just fake lore, my version of salamanders actually carry a trophy on their shoulder pad. It symbolizes a rite of passage and the ability to become a salamander. While the miniature isn't 100% complete, it's still missing a wash and it's missing a few little small steps and details. As you can clearly see, using a recipe book really helps you achieve the ability to reproduce paint schemes that you've already done. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed watching this video, please consider subscribing. It helps me out a ton. Also, liking this video or sharing it with your friends will also help me out. If this is your first video, please check out my playlist. I have plenty more videos up, and there's always more coming. Thank you guys a ton again. Until next time, I'm gonna let this one ride out.